Hello everyone, it's me, Jenny, Vintage Soul Crafter. I am over my wretched, ratchet, whatever it was I was feeling the other day, and I'm feeling pretty good, so I wanted to come and share while I had the energy and a little bit of time, the things that I picked up from my treasure hunting, my vintage antique treasure hunting at the Sac Antique Fair last Sunday. And are you tired of Christmas yet? Huh? Are you? Are you tired of Christmas yet? Huh? Are you? I'm not. I'm not yet. And that's pretty remarkable because if you could see the rest of my dining room table, you would see that it is filled with, it looks like a vintage Christmas junkyard over here on my dining room table because I have got so many projects going on. I don't know if I can give you a little view of what's happening here without giving any family Christmas secrets away, but this is my Etsy wrapping station, as well as right now my my packaging station, as well as my it doesn't look that bad actually from your perspective, maybe. I don't know. It's way more clutter and stuff than I like. I'm a bit of a clutter Nazi. I don't like clutter. I don't do clutter, and it's really kind of humorous, and I don't know what my husband thinks of it because I haven't ever asked him, and probably don't really plan on asking him actually. But I know all of this is temporary. I know what's happening with this, and even though I don't necessarily like it and I want it to go away, and it will, I have probably two too many projects going on right now, but I'm working on it. I'm in the process, and but it's a mess. And so I think maybe my husband Tom kind of figures okay, well, Jenny has a mess in the dining room on the table, so I can kind of, spread a few of my projects around too. No. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. Call me a hypocrite. Call me a wife-a-crip. Call me a whatever you wanna. But I try to be gracious. I do, because I got a man that is a good man. I do, y'all. And I do try to be gracious. But I know with him, if I give him an inch of horizontal space, then it is a mile of horizontal space. I just got to tell you. So, I've been trying to be, merciful and not be a wife-a-crit. Because I realize that I got a bit of a mess here right now. But this is temporary, and I don't trust anybody else's mess to not be temporary. So, anywho, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much to the people who leave such sweet and kind comments. I really am just, I'm touched. I am really seriously touched, and I'm actually gonna get a little verklempt, just because I am. It's just so kind, and you just don't know when you are yourself and you just be yourself, and put it all out there, and the videos aren't the top notch, lighting is all correct. Right now I'm trying this sort of red filter thing that I got with my little light, projection light, or whatever the heck it's called. I don't even know what this stuff is called. And so many people comment and they let me know what things are and how to pronounce them, and I love that because I always want to improve. I always want to be a better version of me today than I was yesterday, and an even better version tomorrow than I was today. So if people can enlighten me and they do it with kindness and humility, then I'm all about hearing what they have to say. And even if my ego sometimes is wants to do a little cat fight, that's what that was. I go, no, you are here on this planet for a blip of a time, and you're here to learn and to grow and continue to improve. So thank you once again, and let's get going. So first of all, is this. This was my very first find of the day that was in part one, which was not part one, and part two was part one because there ended up not being a part one of my antique treasure hunting. So This was my first find in one of the booths that I do sometimes find really good deals in. He's on the outskirts and he's pretty much always in the same place, but a super nice guy. And anyway, I bought a couple of things from him. I always see way more than I can afford or should purchase, so I don't. But this was a set of these that I have been looking for. Could not tell you, because I am no expert in these matters, how old these are. I have the sense that maybe like this big guy is a replica, but I honestly do not know, nor do I care, because these are not for resale. These are for my own pleasure and use to make Christmas gifts out of at some point and time, and just to have fun with, you know. So I mean, who doesn't need a big empty-headed Santa in their life, honestly? You know, I don't know what the man did with, okay. Anyway, and then he came with a whole bunch of mugs, and I did ask him where they were from and where he got them from, because I like to know these things. And they are from different sets. His daughter picked up a few of them. She's usually there with him. I didn't see her this time, but that doesn't mean she wasn't there. And so she picked up a few from here and there, and he picked up a few from here and there. And, you know, I guess they were just like this one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how old this one is. It's really hard to say these days. So, yeah, they picked up some from here and there. And there's actually more than just that. Let me see here. I don't know how much you really care. I'm kind of curious. I do need to take them out, but I probably won't take them all out again. And there's like, there's a little crack. This one's probably fairly actually vintage, just based on the paint, but it may not be. You know, they could have retouched them. There's a little crack here on this one, but again, it doesn't matter as long as care is given, because they're going to be repurposed for craftiness. And I thought there was at least one. Okay, so this one is a DeForest, California, hand-painted, DeForest. Oh, hello, DeForest. Sometimes it's hard to read these signatures, you know what I'm saying? This is a DeForest of California. I'll have to do some research. I haven't researched any of these to see and get information on. So obviously this is probably from a different, and you can tell by the painting. This one's hand painted, and it has, you know, more details on, it has the eyebrows and the little bit of whiskers. Am I in camera? Am I in frame? Sorry. Than the other ones. So this one, the big head, Santa Big Head doesn't have, oh, which reminds me of my driver's license picture. Santa Big Head doesn't have anything on the bottom, so he's probably not related to this particular Santa. But like I said, that's okay. You know, it's about as much about finding things that you love and that speak to you. And these have been speaking to me for a number of years. And so I was delighted to find some that I could afford. And, you know, be able to repurpose them and do something fun with this for the fam bam. And yeah, so I was just actually reading an article on, sorry, I'm like bending over because I got things here, there, and everywhere that I want to share with you. I was actually just reading an article on one of the estate sale web links that I get, you know, regular updates from. And it was talking about Fire King. It was talking about the, oh gosh, somebody comment and tell me it's not Corningware, it's the other one, and I should be able to think of it because I was just reading the article and it's well known. And they're the makers, Anchor Hawking, the makers of Fire King. And yeah, they were talking about, you know, how collectible that is and all that other good stuff. And I mean, I have a bunch of Corningware pieces that are definitely vintage, and I use them, and I want to use these things. I have some that my great aunt got me, and so these are from when Fiesta Ware first started coming out. She collected them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, A lot of times they were given away as freebies. And I won't try to say it. I won't try to say the Ladniepi, the somebody, and I'm sorry, I cannot remember your name, who commented. It's on the tip of me brain, but I cannot pull it up right now. I feel like the Santa jug that I just had here, kind of empty. So anyway, a freebie, you know, for like attending a movie. Excuse me, I'm going to take a sip of tea. And so it was really old Fiesta ware, but I do use it. I don't use it on a daily, regular basis. I use my Corning ware fairly frequently. It's good, hardy stuff. But yeah, you know, and it's all fine if you want to collect for the sake of collecting, to have it to display. And I love the whole display thing. But I also, maybe I'm a little too practical. I want things to be useful as well, you know, when they can be. Obviously, with certain Christmas things, it's all about the display and the pretty and the bling and all of that good stuff. But to collect something just for the sake of collecting it because it may be worth money at some point in time, I'm not into that, you know. And I don't think most people are. I think most people collect something because it does speak to them, because they do love it. I hope so, because otherwise it sort of defeats the purpose to me. And speaking of things that speak to us, does this speak to anyone? I mean, it's all about the nostalgia. Isn't it? It's all about the nostalgia. And I have been feeling the felt and sequins, you know, homemade, funky monkey ornaments with the little pins and all of that stuff, which I found a bundle of from Goodwill. I'll have to share with you that I'm using to craft with. So yeah, this is a card holder, a Christmas card holder. This is obviously handmade, and I love it. I love the bright colors, the vibrancy, the sparkle, the glitter. And so I will probably, this one's kind of hard to part with. It is a little hard to part with, but I could also see this being, when I first saw it, and I love this. I love the little hand stitching right here. I don't know if you can see that, and it doesn't even, I don't even know where they were going with that, because I don't see that it even holds anything on in the back. If they just missed, because it doesn't look like it pulled away, or maybe this was the third glass of wine right here that evening, sitting, you know, in dim lighting or something, distracted by Jeopardy perhaps. Did I make this? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't make it. That was not my third glass of wine. Yeah, so it's super fun. But I can see these being removed, and this is actually what I was thinking when I purchased it. And there's more stitches down there that don't actually connect to anything, and I really don't think these pulled away. Removing these and using them for the fronts of like traveler's notebook, fabric traveler's notebooks, which I'm working on some right now, and I actually have the front of one that's finished. This is one of the teeny weenies, and so that is the front. I still need to put the inside back out. I'm pretty proud of myself for the straight stitching that's going on right here, you guys. But this is a teeny weenie, and so super sweet. This is good for, you know, address books, taking grocery lists, making and having a pretty thing. Ooh, since it's Christmas, this would be good for your Christmas lists, to have a little one that's in your car, for making your traveling, jotting down your traveling lists and all that. So this is a teeny weenie, I think is actually what they call it, unofficially maybe on this website, Traveler's Notebook, and I'm going to be finishing up. It's part of all of the other ones that I am making that I hope to have. I will have them listed before the end of next week. I can't believe next week, earthquake. I cannot believe next week is Thanksgiving. I was talking to our daughter on the phone, and she said something about coming up. She lives down in Southern California, coming up for Christmas next Wednesday. And I mean for Christmas. I'm looking at Christmas. It says Christmas, so I say Christmas. I say what I read. She was talking about coming up for Thanksgiving next Wednesday. I'm like, wait, no, you don't mean next Wednesday. You mean the Wednesday after next Wednesday, don't you? No, I mean next Wednesday. Next week is Thanksgiving. What? No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so I definitely will have those done and listed, and that will be one other thing off of my plate. These are a couple little bits of vintage ephemera that I found. This is the guy. This is the guy that I got the blow mold light up Santa Claus from last month, who had gone into the restroom. Well, let's not call that a restroom. That's probably a bit of a stretch. Into the portable porta potties, the plastic booths, and came back and sold me the Santa because I was waiting there for him, and was very jolly and very high, apparently, he proclaimed to me. So he's the one that I went and got some food for. And this is what I was looking for in his boxes. He just has things, my favorite kind of booth, where they just have things sort of splayed out and sprawled out and sort of thrown out on tables. Like, that's their idea of decorating. And I love that, because those are the tables that you can just sort through, and it's so good. So he had just things in cardboard boxes, and these were two of the items. I saw a few more things that I liked, but yeah, I was talking to him about, he was saying how tired he was, you know, and he'd been there since midnight the night before. And I really do. I so appreciate that about these folks. It's hard work, as I've said. And it's hard work just doing an Etsy store, you know, from the comforts of home and so on. So doing that kind of stuff, and how much I appreciate. But these are the two pieces that I pulled out, and I don't even remember what price he gave me. And then I said, well, will you take this much? You know, it wasn't much. It's a few dollars. And he's like, oh, I see. Yeah, haha, you really appreciate us, you know. So it was the least I could do to go and get him some food, because, you know, he had a point. And then I realized later that it was the same guy. So this is a music tablet. Obviously, you know that because it says music tablet. It is copyright 1933. And the reason I got this, not only is it cool, I love this front cover page, but it is, and this is really a pretty amazing, Carl Bosch's music tablet. I'm not sure who that is, but it's been used a little bit, but it's blank. It's blank sheets, and I think these are great for journaling on, for junk journals. So I'm always on the prowl and the lookout for vintage papers and ephemera that can be used for junk journals that don't have to be coffee stained or dyed. And yeah, this inside little part of this band and orchestra transposition chart, and it says rudiments of music and all this other stuff. That's pretty nifty too. I don't know what lots of it means, but it's nifty nonetheless. So anyway, picked that up from my friend there. And then this as well was from him, this Lisbeth Perron's needlepoint workbook, over 40 beautiful canvas embroidery designs by the author of The New World of Needlepoint. I thought this was pretty cool as well. You know, I'm trying to kind of pick up things that you don't see every day. And sorry, there's shadows and it barely fits into the screen. But yeah, it's a bunch of patterns. And do I dig? Yes, I do. These gold, kind of totally retro 50s to 70s, 1970s, totally some shrooms, because, you know, the 60s and such would not have been complete without shrooms. It's no wonder that they put them on everything as designs, is it? Let's see if there is a copyright. 1973. So yeah, it's got that 1973 vibe to it as well. So yeah, this is Mad Men. Mad Men is the show I was trying to think of. I don't even know if that was in part 1 that was part 2, or part 2 that was part 1. But anyway, it was Mad Men. It was the television show that brought back a lot of the, you know, like cocktail glasses and all that stuff. Because that's all they did was have sex, smoke, and drink cocktails all while working an 8-hour day. And then go home to their wives, of course. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And these are big, thick, hefty, and again, can be used for like junk journals and, you know, and the like sewing journal type stuff, cut down, folded, etc., etc. So pick that up. And then I got something that I have been wanting Kind of silly, I know, but not that silly since I have seen them asking a pretty darn penny for clogs. Holland Dutch clogs. Now, it's not because I have Dutch in my background, which I do, apparently. Quite a lot of Scandinavian, straight over Swedish and Dutch. But they are really, really cute for planting in. Not to mention they're just darn cute. Could you imagine? Could you imagine these being your actual shoes? Yeah. So these are actually handmade in Holland. They're meant to be wall hangings, but oh gosh, that's the only thing though. I hadn't thought about that. I don't want the paint. They're just hand painted and probably not really the best thing in the world to put little plants in them, huh? Aww. Duh, why didn't I think about that? Well, I don't know, but these, I paid $3 for these, and I have seen these just like this, just little souvenir ones, you know. I'd love to go myself and pick up a pair myself. I have seen these for like upwards of $20, especially if they're the big ones. So the fact that the guy took actually only $2 for these, $1 each, was like, oh yeah, well, as much money as I'm, you know, like throwing down, I can afford $2 for those clogs. And I love clogs. I think another reason I love clogs is, again, nostalgia. Why do we love anything that we love? Nostalgia, nostalgia, nostalgia. It's not the only reason, but it is a huge reason. It just brings us back. And I grew up wearing clogs. We had clogs in Germany. And so I love them clogs. And, okay, the next thing I'm going to show you, probably, it's kind of not really necessarily going to... Wilbur. It doesn't look like Wilbur, but... Oh, it wasn't Wilbur. It was Mr. Ed. Wilbur was the man. It's a horse. Did you know? It's a horse, of course. So I got this pretty inexpensively too, and I didn't want to pay. I love those Breyer horses. I've always loved Breyer horses. I used to ride when I was a little girl. I rode dressage and showed. We lived when we lived in Virginia Beach, and I would go to the base, to the Naval Air Station base there, and they had a horse stable, and I took lessons, and I just loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. So I found this incredible, I haven't shared it, it's over there. I'm going to actually list it on Facebook because it is a large, I might have told you about it, a large horse stable. Amazing, awesome. Somebody's homemade wooden horse stable, probably for their son or daughter. I envision a daughter. They're Breyer horses because it fits Breyer horses. This horse is probably actually going to be a little too small. It might look a little silly because a Breyer horse would be about an inch, at least an inch longer and taller. But they're so expensive. And I really just want one for the photos, you know, and to be able to give with the stable. So not give, you know, sell with the stable, but the horse would just be props and go with it. But the gal told me, she told me that this is it says it on the inside. This is I don't know if I can read it in this lighting. I could read it in the daylight. Shoot. Hartford, pretty sure that's what that says. Heartland. It's hard to read it in this lighting. Anyway, she said they're highly collectible, and you know, every bit as much as the Breyer ones actually. So I wish I had my little magnifying glass, but I'm pretty sure it says Heartland. So yeah, made in the USA, and this is to go with my horse stable that I'm going to list on Facebook just to see how it goes and if it sells. It would be such a nice, inexpensive gift for, I'm gonna list it for probably $35 because it's substantial. It's got 3 stalls. It came with the horseshoe. It has the little bridle pegs on the outside of the stalls, and it comes with the paddock fencing. It's fantastic. I'll maybe I can take a picture of it and add a picture of it to this video. So that's what the horse is for. And then I found some fabrics I love, and this is, I don't know how this relates to my childhood. There's so many things that I love that I can relate to my childhood. And I don't think this is about blankies or, you know, anything that's necessarily nostalgic like that. I think that this is just an inherent appreciation for beauty. And you know, if you watch my videos, if you've watched them all, you know, I get a little like weird about textures. Well, I think I get a little weird. It's probably not really weird. I don't actually think I'm alone with that. Otherwise, why would manufacturers put the little nubbies, you know, on things? Texture is so important to us as human beings. And so, yeah, I just have an inherent appreciation. And I really have to thank Amity Bloom, Nazi, for bringing me back to that love, like reintroducing me to the love of textiles. I've always loved them. I've always, you know, picked them up when I could afford them. Like I said, I have some things put away that I need to go and pull out and just take a look at with fresh eyes, with fresh, new, creative eyes to see how I might be able to repurpose them. I have a couple things that I always thought that I would hang, but I never did. And so, you know, maybe now would be a time to go and take a look at them. So yeah, this is a vendor that I've never purchased anything from. They're there pretty regularly. I think they're probably, you know, estate sale people, and they have some cool stuff. Actually, my niece bought a necklace from them when she went with me sometime last year. But it has these lovely fabrics, and it's, you know, it's all pieced together. Some piecework here. Bonnie, my friend, you could tell me if this is hand done. I don't think this one is. I think this one is all, yeah. This one's machine stitched. I'm 99% certain just because of how straight it is, but doggone straight. Dang. Still impressed. But it's cool. It's going to make me cough because it needs to be washed. I think it's pretty, and I love the patchwork. I love the combination of the different fabrics and textures and colors and all of that. So I can totally see this being repurposed for journals and various other collage, assemblage, mixed media, altered art, etc. It's snowing in here. Not really. That's part of my mess. This one is actually the first one that I picked up, and I love this. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. It has that, you know, you feel the seams underneath your hands. Your hands go from texture to texture, from this kind of ruddy, rough, open weave to the more closed cotton. And I love the colors. I love I mean, you know, the reds and the oranges, and then they're mixed in here with this pink and this green, and there's flowers and there's checks and different kind of generations of pieces going on here on that side, and again then on this side, and yeah, and more here. I love it. I just absolutely adore it. One of my favorite colors, oranges. So I got this. I got this other one when I went bin diving for the first time, kind of stained up. This needs to be washed for sure. But, you know, I don't expect the stains to come out, and that's okay. That's probably one of the reasons that this fabric and these pieces, whatever they originally were, got designated for this, what would have probably been a quilt. And I don't know why the person didn't finish. I don't know if, you know, if they passed away before they could finish it, or if they just, if they got ill, or they just gave up. I don't know. You know, but I love that I can be a part of the story and continue the story. So this one's definitely, you can see, this one's definitely hand stitched. I found this other one that's kind of like this, only it's actually finished. It's a blanket. and it's hand pieced. I didn't necessarily consider whether it was hand pieced or not, but Bonnie was looking at it and saying to me it's hand stitched and hand pieced. But I just loved all the fabrics, the different, textures and everything in it. So now, though, I don't know. She's like, you're gonna take this apart, and I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to take it apart. So I don't know. It's just, and honestly, now that I'm looking at this, it's gonna be hard. But what am I gonna do? My house is gonna get overrun by these fabric, scraps and bits and pieces. I can't do it, you guys. I can't do it. So anyhow, that's that. Let's make sure I don't have anything else in this. Oh, yep, I do. In blue here, my trusted antique Faire friend. I've always thought it was kind of strange when people gave inanimate objects names, and now I've become one of those strange people. Oh well. It wasn't that far to fall, quite frankly. Yeah, I got more in here. I'm digging it out. I'm digging it out. Oh, no, those are my little wet wipes. Gotta travel with your wet wipes. Let's see. Is this it? No, there's more than this. Where's the other pieces? Or maybe this is, oh, okay, no, this is, I got these from this one guy. Let's put those back. I have more. Yeah, it was a textile kind of day, more than a Christmas kind of day. I really felt like I'm so glad, once again, I am so glad that I purchased and began collecting my vintage ornament pieces before it became all the craze rage, because the craze is right. The prices for them now is just redonkulous, in my opinion. And it's not to say that those little pretties are not worth it, but too rich for me. And that kind of makes me sad, because I so adore them. And now they're the thing, and people are buying them up, and they're really expensive. So these are just some kind of junky but sweet little pieces that I got from this one gentleman that had a table, again, just kind of thrown on there. They don't mean much to him. It wasn't really what he was dealing in, but it's what he got, possibly a storage unit kind of dealer. I'm going to do one of those. I am so going to do one of those storage things. I'll probably get a storage unit full of crap, absolute crap that'll be gross and sticky and oozing something disgusting once I get in there. But I'm going to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it once, at least once. So I thought these are pretty. This one can be taken apart and repurposed and reused. And same with this. It's got this nice, bit of, I don't know if it's technically crochet on the edge, but stitching nonetheless of some sort or another that's kind of fun, and some sweet little, I always just envision the ladies that sit, it could be gents, but I think for the most part ladies that sit and work on this stuff. And I've actually kind of been motivated to start doing macrame again. I did macrame in junior high and high school, and it's really enjoyable and relaxing. And I think it's making a little bit of a reemergence. I don't know if that was proper English or not, but it's out there, it's said. So, and this was obviously all hand stitched around this as well. And I don't know if this was meant to be a pattern that somebody was supposed to embroider or something. It kind of looks like maybe, but anyway, I just like it. I think it's kind of cool and kind of got that little retro vibe going. So I picked those up from him. And then this, when I first picked this up, I was like, Eversharp Chic Hydro Magic Blades. What in the world? Christmas decorations? Oh, okay, so it was another free giveaway. Because I was trying to figure out how these had anything. I think I got this from the same gal that I got the horse from, if I'm not mistaken. 6 big, sparkling, colorful, three-dimensional, do-it-yourself Christmas decorations. Free when you buy Eversharp Chic Hydro Magic Blades. So these are, you have to assemble them. But I don't know. I just thought that they were kind of different. You know, like I said, 1957. And kind of cool. Really, really fun images. Totally 50s. So you cut them out and you put them together. These little paper, you know, die cut doodads. And here's Santa's body and his feet. And then his arms are over here next to the little angel head. And there's her wings and her little skirt. And super cute Santa face. I mean, just that alone, and just her alone is fun, and I think worthy of purchasing. Let's see. And then here's the rest of, oh, these are the choir boys. Part 2 of 3 parts. Unfold this. I mean, they're in fabulous shape. They were taken out of just to be looked at, probably from whoever bought the razors, and then tucked away. And I mean, look at how cute their little faces are with their little collars and stuff. Super sweet. So yeah, I don't know. I'll probably list these in my Etsy shop, and somebody more creative than myself can figure out what to do with those, include them as part of a junk journal, or cut them out, or do something super fun with them. I don't know if I'll get them listed before Christmas, but maybe for next year. Maybe I'll hold on to them in case I'm inspired to create something out of them. We'll see. I picked these up because I'm already thinking about Easter. As I was walking around, I was thinking about Easter and thinking about Valentine's. And as I look at this right now, I'm seeing, oh mercy, we have a decapitated Easter bunny here, and a little glue is going to be in order here for this. And this little chickie is missing some portion of his, not sure what's supposed to be on top of his head. If I had noticed this made in China, I might not have purchased these, but that's okay. I mean, I think they were $1. But these are for Christmas crafties, Easter Christmas crafties. I had lots of ideas and plans last year, but then I didn't do it. It's stuff that I like to do with my buddy Bonnie. We get together and do that kind of stuff, but I didn't get it done last year, partly because she wasn't able to be there with me because she was having a grandbaby. So here's some other bits and pieces that I got from another gentleman who probably purchases storage units, and had them all just laid out on a table. But there's some nice filet lace. I still am working on trying to tell the difference between filet crochet and filet lace. There is a difference, and it has to do with how the squares are stitched together. But anyway, I thought these were pretty sort of doily, table runner centerpieces that can definitely be, they have a little bit of staining. Like, who cares when you're going to repurpose them for art. And here's another one, really super sweet. A little bit of embroidery work there, and nice crochet around the edges. And another one that's very pretty. These smell a little perfumey. I am getting so stuffy right now doing this because of the dust that's in the fabric and maybe a little bit of mold spores. So this is really sweet. They actually missed a flower. Can you see that? Let's see. Can you see that? They missed a flower. I don't know if that shows up or not right there. But really, I mean, I'm not going to fault them because I wouldn't do this. I love how vibrant this is. This will be for spring, little, little nosegay, tussy-mussy kind of bouquet for spring, for Easter. Look at these colors. So sweet. And this little, this actually looks like it's either very thick. Yeah, it's a thick, I guess a thick floss. It almost looks like yarn. Super sweet though. And this is nice. This linen fabric here is really nice. Oh, it's actually a pillowcase. Okay. That's why I was like, it feels like a pillowcase. Well, there's a reason for that. It is a pillowcase. So, yeah, can't get it folded right. There's that. I thought this was super sweet too. Pretty simple, you know. Like I look at those other embroidery pieces that I purchased at that estate sale, and these are pretty simple, but sweet as all get out nonetheless. Super sweet. And these look like little dragonflies, maybe. Actually, to me. My battery is dying, so I'm going to have to finish this up, like, real quick. It's already been 40 minutes. Holy cow. I just don't know how to do this fast. And then here I have just 2 more pieces. I was going to share some things I got from Goodwill, but that'll have to wait. These are just adorable. Somebody's little baby blanket. Sweet, super, super sweet images of these little bears, you know, playing baseball and bowling and weightlifting. Oh, that's my son. So adorable. Sweeping. That's not my son. And then another little blankie with more embroidery, stitching. I don't know, I guess that's not embroidery. I don't know what you call it. Maybe it's embroidery, but just kind of stitching, needlework. So sweet. Little duckies of every variety. And one more, and this one is kitties. Oh, well, it's not. Yeah, it's all kitties. Look at the kitty. It's got a little purse. Cross stitch. And another one, and this one down here is knitting. I mean, adorable, right? So sweet. So, so sweet. There she is, knitting. So, yeah, you guys, my battery's going to go dead. So, if you manage to stick this through to the whole 40 minutes, thanks so much again. Thank you for your comments, for subscribing. I guess I'll do my few little Goodwill things another time. So, I'll talk with you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.